foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And this is I have a couple of articles here. They're not long, but pretty important. This one is from Insider or Markets Insider or BusinessInsider.com. And as you can see in the headline, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos warns a recession is looming and Americans should prepare for the worst. Okay. And as we, like I said, it's not a long article, but when we go into it, you'll start to see, um, that this spells, disaster for America, and not just the American economy, but as we've been saying, the global economy as well. Now, as all these things are taking place, it's always good to, as the scriptures say, measure the times diligently, which involves not looking in just one direction, but looking around as well. Because at the same time, you have this, which was today, 16th. So yesterday, this came out, and this is from Reuters.com. And as you can see, it says banking giants and New York Fed start 12-week digital dollar pilot. Okay, which is in the direction with the central bank digital currencies, which the U.S. has been pretty slow in their so-called development of it. All right, unlike these other countries, unlike the BOE, the Bank of England, Jamaica, and all these other, India, China. All right, a lot of the world's countries and nations are quickly adopting this central bank digital currency. Um, but it kind of makes sense being that the Babylon, all right, is the, as the scriptures say, the mother of harlots, and the harlot that sitteth upon the beast, all right, which the beast represents NATO and the European Union, all right. So basically, the main power structure that's driving a lot of the actions of this world, okay, on a carnal level or on a global scale. So from the looks of it, if America fully adopts it, the whole world is going to be on par. But the point is, I want to read a little bit from here about this recession, which when you go back to the 1930s, when you had the Great Depression, okay, remember that we're in 2022 right now, and this economy that is on life support has gone through a lot more things than it did prior to the Great Depression. Okay, so you had the Great Depression, which was pretty bad, and then after that you had the recession of 2008, 2007, 8, 9, around that time. Okay, but then after that, after those things happened, the economy was never really healed. All right, it was just quote unquote patched up, and you had other events that took place, and then recently you had the whole demic, which took a toll on the economy. Now you have inflation spiraling out of control. You have the whole Russia Ukraine situation. So another recession for this economy, it doesn't look too good for the economy because it's not in a good condition already as it stands. All right. So as you can see, it says Jeff Bezos warned the U.S. economy is likely to slump in a painful recession. Amazon's billionaire founder advised consumers and businesses to delay purchases and stockpile cash. Bezos recently suggested it was time to batten down the hatches. So it says Jeff Bezos has warned a U.S. recession is looming and advised consumers and businesses to stockpile cash in case there's a devastating downturn. The economy does not look great right now, Amazon's billionaire founder and executive chairman told CNN on Saturday. Things are slowing down. You're seeing layoffs in many, many sectors of the economy, he continued. The probabilities say if we are not in a recession right now, we are likely to be in one very soon. And you are seeing a lot of layoffs. You had, I believe so far, you had Meta, um, Twitter, um, Amazon. Okay, and I forget if there was another one. All right, but those are pretty big mainstream companies, tech companies at that. But it's going to keep expanding. Okay, so it says Bezos recommended American households delay big ticket purchases such as new TVs, refrigerators, and cars, given the risk that economic conditions worsen. Similarly, he suggested small business owners consider holding off on investments in new equipment and build their cash reserves instead. The e commerce pioneer declined to estimate how long the recession could last, but he urged people to be ready for an economic disaster. Now, what do you think things will look like in an already battered economy going through another disaster? Take as much risk off the table as you can, he said. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Bezos' latest comments echo his response to Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon in October, when the bank chief said there's a good chance of a U.S. recession. Yep, the probabilities in this economy tell you to batten down the hatches. Bezos tweeted at the time. Let's see what else you got here. Okay. Uh, yeah. All right. Let me jump down here. It says the upshot. The upshot is that American consumers and businesses may have to weather soaring prices. Mm-mm. Surging borrowing costs and a shrinking economy. Bezos is likely recommending they stockpile cash to help them survive that painful squeeze. So pretty much everywhere you turn, there is some warning letting you know that painful times are coming. All right, and it's getting closer and closer and closer. You're already starting to see these layoffs happen, and prices, like I said, high prices. Okay, shrinking economy and layoffs. How do you weather that in the winter? You still got to pay rent. You still got to buy groceries. You still got to pay bills. Now, on the other hand, you have something that's taking place here. Now, it says New York, like I read the headline already. All right. New York, November 15th, global banking giants. There goes the word global again. See, that's a key word to look out for. Global. Because this is all leading to one direction, one thing, which is the MOTB, which is an acronym, all right, for the MARK of the beast in the book of Revelation. And that is going to be a global thing. Okay, so this digital, the CBDCs, the digital currencies, they're all leading towards um that prophecy being fulfilled. So when you hear global, you hear the digital, you hear the banking, you hear it's all, those are all key words. Global banking giants are starting a 12-week, which is about 3 months, digital dollar pilot with the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the participants announced on Tuesday. Now, depending on how bad this recession is, it's very likely, it's entirely possible that they could say, look, the way things are going, with how bad the economy is, the only way to really sustain it is we switch to this digital dollar. And they start highlighting the benefits. Oh, we did the pilot, it was good. These were the results. We think this would be a good idea. We should transition here. It says Citigroup Inc., HSBC Holdings, MasterCard, and Wells Fargo are among the financial companies participating in the experiment alongside the New York Fed's Innovation Center. They said in a statement, the project, which is called the Regulated Liability Network, will be conducted in a test environment and use simulated data, the New York Fed said. The pilot will test how banks using digital dollar tokens in a common database can help speed up payments. Earlier this month, Michelle Neal, head of New York Fed's Markets Group, said it sees promise in using a central bank digital dollar to speed up settlement time in currency markets. Now, one thing to also keep in mind is oftentimes in situations like this where there's an introduction of something new, you know, they highlight the benefits, but not in a way of exclusivity. What I mean by that is they don't immediately say, "Oh, well, this is the only way to go. Let's phase out everything else." They introduce this as an additional measure, highlight the benefits of it, and then they slowly start to phase out the old way of doing things. All right, and then the mandates come in. See, so pretty much this is what's happening. At least on the economic side of things, as the Lord said, watch as well as pray. But these are all signs that what we're nearing that time. All right, this is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11, and that knowing the time, and this is also another key thing, you have to know the time. And I don't mean looking at your watch. What I mean is looking at the spiritual watch. All right, you have to know the time, meaning you got to understand what what are the signs of the times that you are living in. What are the events, the current events that are taking place? What do they tell you? If I look at a clock and I see the short hand on 3 and the long hand on 12, I know it's 3 o'clock, right? It's in the afternoon. There's a lot of different things I can tell. Oh, okay, it must be the sun must be out, whatever the case. A couple of hours from this, in a few hours the sun is gonna go down. All of these things I can tell. Well, when you know the time, the signs of the time you're in, you can tell. Okay, well, what's happening? What's about to happen? Where is this leading? Right? So, in that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. See? So, we're closer to the end of this thing than we even we even think. And that's why we gotta just keep doing what we're doing, keep your head down and keep trucking, keep doing, serving the Lord, doing things that are pleasing to the Lord, and just watch, all right, because things are happening. You had Klaus Schwab come out and make another statement, no, another so-called speech, speech or whatever, um, discussing how pretty much they got to kick things into gear. Okay, so things are happening, man, and if you're not prepared, this is gonna be the worst experience in your existence. All right, Jeremiah 30:7, Daniel 12:1. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Ruach Kudash. Until next time, Shalom.